Hey, it's Coulter. I'm here with Tate McRae. You've got a brand new album today. This is super exciting. What's it called? What's your favorite song?
It's called All the Things I Never Said.
Okay, my notes confirm that. Well done.
Awesome.
Excellent. You've studied for this.
Yeah. My favorite song would be Stupid.
Okay, why is that? Because I listened to it a couple of times this morning, and it's easy because it's 15 minutes long. You can get a couple of reps in.
Exactly.
Why is that one your favorite?
Probably because it was written with like some of my favorite people ever, and
Like
I
who? Say all of their names because you're going to have people that think they're your favorite people and they're not, and now they need to find out. We need to shame these people.
Okay, the writers are Lars, Kinetics, Russ, One Love, and Lauren Frawley.
Okay, I know there's some kooky names in there. I think Lars is the coolest one. That's a
Lars
cool name.
is sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love being in those sessions with those people. They're amazing.
Why do you say that?
They're just good vibes.
What is that? What does good vibes mean?
Good vibes meaning like I'm like really inspired after I come out.
Okay.
Like I'm like learning, I'm getting a whole different perspective on life, learning about every single one of their.
In one writing session.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I mean they're like 9 hours long.
Okay, so you're a super cool celebrity. Us normies, how do we channel some of that? How do we have like a super inspiring session like that? How can we have some of that Oprah magic in our lives?
I guess you just have to walk into a room, into a writing session, and just be completely open-minded to like. I never prep for any sessions. Like you don't have any ideas walking in.
Yeah, same.
And it's like, yeah, same. And then you just get inspired by the room and the people in it and like what their vibes are, how they're feeling that day. I guess it's just like everyone's energy bounces off one another, and you just see what you can create. Yeah.
Now you do some other stuff too. We've got the music. You're a voice actor. You've got a show on Netflix, which is super awesome.
Yes.
You also are a professional dancer. How do you attack these things? Do you attack them all kind of with the same work ethic, or do you have to tailor yourself to each of these?
I mean, my dancing is like really intense. I train like 20 hours a week in dance, so it's a lot. And I try to balance it out as much as I can with the singing. With the traveling, it's getting a little crazy right now. But I mean, they're all like, I'm so passionate about all of them, and it's like I wouldn't give any of them up for anything. So, I mean, obviously it's a busy schedule, but it's like if I'm doing everything I love, then it's like there's no point in giving any less energy to one of them.
You just love the creative process.
Oh yeah.
I like that. That's really awesome, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
good to hear. Like it seems like you're kind of a workaholic, but you're handling it well, which is nice to see.
I feel like I work best under pressure and under stress.
Okay.
I like don't do well with free time.
Right.
Like I go crazy.
Okay.
So.
Well, it's interesting you say that because listening to your music, what I get out of it, I know it's subjective, and maybe you're going to go, Coulter, you're an idiot. This is not. Well, you're probably going to go, Coulter, you're an idiot, but you might say this is not what it's about.
Okay.
What I'm getting from it is like dealing with some anxiety and maybe some mental health stuff from time to time, like we all do, and putting on like a brave face.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's always like taking small issues and like making them into something way bigger than they are, and like bringing it so it's like any other person on the earth can relate to it. You know, all ages, all people, and I mean, they're high school issues most of the time, and it's like. For me, I mean, I feel like I'm pretty level-headed most of the time. So my songwriting is like my outlet for everything. It's like everything that I can't put into words, I always put into my songs. And so it's like I look like a very, very emotional person online because I'm like constantly putting out like it's like my diary. So it's like crazy that it's so exposed to the internet. But
what would you say you're most anxious about right now, and how do you handle that? Because we all have things going on in our lives, right? Maybe you're really nervous about maybe asking somebody out, or like I've got a kid coming in a couple of weeks. I'm nervous about that. So again, what are you most anxious about, and how do you overcome that?
I mean, I always want to put my best foot forward. It's like social media is so exposing. Your entire life is public to everyone, and it's like it's so hard to maintain like a good reputation with everyone who's looking at your stuff. And also I want to make sure that I'm putting out everything that I love and everything that I'm like obsessed with myself, because then I feel like no one else is going to connect with it. And I mean, I overthink so much. Like I'm like, I just want to put my best foot forward always. And that's why like it's definitely stressful sometimes, because there's a lot of different opinions and people who try to put their word in, but it's like you always got to fight for your own opinion.
So are you anxious maybe about failure in a sense, or maybe about letting certain people down, or maybe letting yourself down?
Oh, of course. I mean, now it's like signing to a label, it's like there's a whole bunch of people involved, and it's like out of nowhere, it's like you got so many people like telling you what needs to be done and what you should be doing, and it's like you want to make sure you're impressing everyone and you're like doing your best, but it's hard. Like at 16, like I make mistakes all the time, and it's like I never know if I'm making the right decision on things.
Well, and you raise a good point. So you are 16 years old, and you've got, like in the room right now, we've got a bunch of adults that are kind of like in charge of a lot of these things for you, right?
Yeah.
How do you maintain like a kind of trust with people? And do you have people in your life, maybe family members, maybe some friends that you can kind of turn to that will give you sage advice that will kind of steer you in the right direction?
I mean, my parents are like the best at advice. They're like the best parents ever. They've supported me so much.
Well, you have to say that. They changed your diapers for years, right?
No, they're honestly the most chill, amazing, supportive parents ever. And it's like I would not be anywhere without them. And they give me the best advice all the time. And it's like they're always keeping me grounded and like on my 2 feet. And it's like I feel like I always go back to them. I always go back to my family and my friends at home. And it's like always good because going out to LA, New York, and working so hard, and then going back home, it's like a good moment to just like, oh, this is what life is really like.
Well, what is it like kind of, and I think a lot of us might get this when we go back to our hometowns, for instance, right? Because it's like you're putting the present on hold a little bit and you're returning to the comfortable past. So what's that like for you, not just going to your hometown, but kind of checking out from, for instance, you've got 1 million followers on Instagram. How do you step back from that and kind of return to normalcy for a couple of minutes?
I mean, I don't ever really like talking about my work like in general unless I'm working, Like it's like outside of that, it's like I try to stay as normal as possible so I don't go crazy and I'm not like my mind is not exploding. Cuz I'm like my mind works like so fast, a mile a minute every single second. It's like if I did not take a break from it, I would literally not know what to do. I would have so many things in my head. So at home, it's like I don't ever talk about myself. I don't talk about what I'm doing in LA. I don't talk about what's happening. It's always like I try to talk about everyone around me. So, I mean, that's pretty normal. And then I go to a school, I go to dance, and it's like you just put your head down and just go on with your regular life and kind of put it to the side.
Do you feel like, and I already know the answer to this, so I'm going to know if you're lying.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like maybe you get away with a little bit more than the average 16-year-old would because of what you do for a living?
I mean,
There's got to be some perks, let's be honest.
I mean, school-wise, yes, kind of. I mean,
what do you mean by that? Like, do you have to do homework?
Yeah, of course.
Sure. Yeah, I bet.
No, I have to do homework a lot. But I do some courses online and stuff, and they give me a lot of leeway. Like, I miss a lot of school. Like, I remember, like, a year ago, I was in LA, like, more than half the year. So I missed a lot of school, and I have for the past, like, 6 years of my life.
And this is just like a regular, like you go to a regular school?
A public
Is that
school.
weird?
Yeah.
I imagine.
It is weird.
Because everybody knows what you're up to, and whether you like it or not, you're probably the most popular kid at your school.
Well, I wouldn't notice. I'm the most oblivious person ever, so I wouldn't know. But
I think we all need some of that humility.
I mean, it's like weird. I don't even like think that it's even happening. It doesn't even feel real when I go back to school. It's like, oh, I don't feel any different from anyone else.
But how do you think you relate to people your own age?
Well, I think honestly, I just like every single lyric I write is like so real. I mean, there's nothing that I put out there that it's like fake at all. Like it's genuinely just like from my heart and like exactly from my gut, whatever I think I want to say. And otherwise I wouldn't put it out there if it wasn't actually genuine to like what I was actually thinking. So, I mean, I think that's why people would connect to my music because they're like, oh, that's exactly how I feel. I mean, we're all similar in most ways. But I mean, going back to school and stuff, it's hard to be kind of understood because you can't explain your life, and it's like it's really hard to. And I'm not the type of person that would want to try to explain everything that's going on. So I mean, that way I just try to like I don't know, it's weird. It's weird talking about it.
Okay, so pretend, because I'm getting the wrap-up signal, and this is the last question. Pretend you're watching this on YouTube or whatever dumpster fire the internet turns into in 10 years from now.
Yeah.
You're going to be 26 at that point.
Uh-huh.
What do you want to tell yourself? How do you want to stay true to yourself, and how are you going to hold yourself accountable to that?
I just hope that every single thing I put out is just like what I like and what I enjoy, And I hope that I just stay humble and kind through it all and just feel like make my way through, create my lane, and surround myself with good people always. I feel like that's the most important, like finding your circle, finding who like you trust, who you don't trust, and sticking with it.
Well, thank you very much for being here with me today.
Thank you for having me.
Tate McRae's new EP, it's called All the Things I Never Said. It's out everywhere. Just go to the internet and type in those words or type in Tate. You're going to be the first Tate that pops up. Tate McRae, thank you so much for speaking with me today.
Thank
This was
you
a lot
so
of fun.
much. Nice meeting you.